What's up YouTube? I'm Josh Nealon. In this video, I'm going to be explaining how to defend in 1v1 situations, and I'll be doing that by analyzing my own game film. So like I've said in other videos like this, I'm not using my own film because I think I'm the best center back or the best 1v1 defender. By no means, not at all. But it is convenient. I'm also just taking clips from my highlight videos because, to be honest, I don't want to go through hours of film. So these will be mostly positive examples, but even in highlights, there's things I could have done better. So I'm just going to go through a few different clips, analyze it, and overall giving you guys tips how to defend 1v1, specifically as a center back, because it is a little bit different than defending 1v1 from other positions on the field. I also have a playlist full of other game analysis, some where I just go through an entire game and analyze every touch that I took. Another one that's similar to this where I explained about 3 key skills you need to have as a center back. So I hope these are beneficial to you. I hope you enjoy. Comment your thoughts and your tips for defending 1v1 down in the comments below. So a little bit before we get into it, just like I briefly mentioned earlier, defending 1v1s as a center back is a little bit different. Obviously it's going to be more towards the center of the field, and a lot of times these 1v1s, you're going to be the last line of defense. These are also often happen when a long ball is played in, so both of you guys are kind of chasing the ball. So unlike fullbacks or outside backs, there's not going to be a ton of 1v1 situations where the guy's just trying to dribble and do a bunch of tricks to get around you and you guys are near the sideline and you can go in for a big slide tackle. Like I said, it's quite different. So enough said, let's get into it. My first tip is you need to be aware of where you're facing, where you're pointing the attacker to, because you are directing them one way or the other.
All right, so this first clip here, I'm just tracking back. Guy has this perfect touchdown to his feet. So I just keep following him, and eventually force him inside towards where I have, 3 or 4 teammates, and the ball gets cleared out. And if I'm being totally honest, I don't think this was completely intentional that I forced him to the inside. However, I wasn't going to let him just run straight by me down the sidelines. You can see I was kind of a few steps ahead of him. And when he realized that, he went to cut inside. So I did still have to open up my hips. I gave him a little too much space to shoot there, and it probably turned out much better this way, forcing him towards my teammates, whether intentional, fully intentional or not, than if I just gave him the sideline and gave him a one-on-one with me. And I also just had to use some game IQ. I hadn't went against this guy in one-on-one in the game yet. I wasn't sure exactly how quick or fast he was, so I was giving him a little extra space, trying to feel that out, and just playing it safe. So that's another important thing to remember: your skills, your strengths, and your opponent's possible strengths as well. All right, so this next clip here, kind of an opposite example of the last one. I'm just staying with the guy, not too eager to make a tackle, trying to stand him up, and instead I'm forcing him outside and also towards the goal line eventually. Because he didn't have much space towards the sideline, I want to keep forcing him that way. I don't want to give him, literally half the field to cut in and take a shot, and there's not a big concentration of teammates right there. So I just got to take this one on my own, but again, play it safe, make him run out of space. Eventually it takes too long of a touch, and I don't even have to make a tackle. I slide here, but thankfully didn't even deflect off me, get a goal kick out of it. All right, so this is my third and final clip here. As you can see, again, forcing him outside towards the sideline. And in this case, I'm doing that because I only have one teammate, on the inside here. He also takes a big touch, so I want to keep forcing him towards the line. And as you can see, I do my best to try and cut off that dangerous cutback cross first, and just slowly keep moving towards the line. And eventually, I block the cross. So it's nothing crazy highlight, just some simple IQ here.
So hopefully, as you saw through those clips, you've got to be very aware as a defender. That's one of the most important skills. And remember that you're always pointing them to one side or the other. You don't want to let them have the freedom and the creativity to go wherever they want. You want to try and force them to one side or the other. So along with this awareness, which I won't get into this today, but you need to have a good understanding of your strengths and weaknesses as a player and as a defender. The next big tip is patience. Like I said, as a defender, as a center back, more so than any other position on the field, whenever you're defending someone one-on-one, you're almost always the last line of defense. So whatever you do, you got to play smart and you got to play it safe. So that doesn't mean you never make a tackle. That doesn't mean you never go in on them. And normally, when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about they already have the ball at their feet. They're already trying to dribble and make moves. Be patient. Don't dive in unless you know for sure you can get that ball. And a lot of times you're going to learn that the hard way through practice. You're going to think like, oh, I'm for sure going to make this tackle, and you miss, you foul them, and they get around you. But in the game, that's where you need to be aware of that. Either wait for them to make the mistake or wait for your teammates to drop back, buy time. Don't just let them glide past you. And that way you can have help, you can have some support.
All right, so this clip here, they just try and send a through ball in. Luckily I basically almost have a head start on him. And just patience. I just keep running alongside him. There's no need to make a crazy, heroic tackle right away. I've got confidence. I went up against this guy once or twice, so I already have an idea. So I know I can keep up in a foot race. So I'm just running alongside him, and I'm just pressuring him to make a mistake. Every touch he takes, he's running out more space. I give him a little nudge to my shoulder, remind him that I'm there, and then eventually, luckily and easily for me, he just takes too long of a touch, goes out, we get a goal kick out of it. Whereas if I try and come in, just make a harsh tackle to make it look cool right away, or even in the box, just feel like I got to slide now. It could have caused a foul. The ball could have stayed in play, could have went out for a corner. So tackle really, honestly, is kind of a last resort, a last-ditch effort. So just be patient and have a bit of a similar mentality to an attacker. When they're going at you, they want to have you make the mistake first. And when you're a defender, you want to put the pressure on them to make the mistake, to take a bad touch. And that makes it a whole lot easier for you than you just showing your cards, putting yourself out there, going in reckless every time. All right, so this next example is a bit different. I'm just being patient, and I do get to make a play here on the ball. I'm patient. I see that he takes too big of a touch. Just come out, slide tackle. And like I said, just putting the pressure on them, make that touch, don't commit right away. This guy I knew was a bit shifty, so I didn't want to just lunge in at him, which you never should do no matter who you're going against, to be honest. So just be patient, pay attention, and just wait for your moment. Again, this one, not really making any crazy play. They play the ball in, he gets a good touch around. I just keep following him. And again, he makes a mistake. That's always the ideal, Sometimes you think the ideal is that I come in and make a crushing tackle. Really, the best thing that can happen is they just mess up. They give us a goal kick. They hand the ball right to us, and that's what happens here. Just patiently following, staying in the right position, and I see my chance. Takes a long touch. Just get the ball back. Go for it on offense again.
My final tip, this is one that's very specific to center backs, and a lot of the times when we're defending. This also might sound contrary to my last tip, which was patience, but these are different, and these are also a lot of times in different situations. As I said, specifically with patience, I'm mostly talking about when they have the ball at their feet, they have it settled, and they're trying to dribble, they're trying to make a move on you. That's when you want to be patient and not dive in. But whenever you can, if you can go up for a header, clear it out, make a tackle right away. If it's obvious, if you know you can do it, you want to do that to start. You want to be proactive.
All right, so this clip, just tries to play a long ball in, has a pretty big bounce here. I just go up for the header, win the first one. Try and dribble around him, don't get. So I know my last point probably sounded very passive and conservative, but this is, again, why it's so important. You need to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and who you're going up against, what their strengths and their weaknesses are. So you're constantly analyzing during the game, in the middle of the game, and I'm confident I can go up there, I can win that first header, and then quickly getting the rebound from my own header basically as well. I didn't get it instantly out of there. So, I try and bring it down. I try and get around him. It doesn't work. But again, I'm being proactive here. Whenever you can avoid someone dribbling at you one-on-one, ball at their feet, trying moves on you, you want to avoid that. Take the easy way out. That's part of being a smart defender. So this is just one example of that. So this one here, it's an important part of defending as a center back. A lot of times you got to step up with the forward, and they check in, and we got to follow them. And it can be awkward, it can be hard, but we just can't just let the guy go free. So I'm here, I'm confident that I can win the ball. It's not a gorgeous pass. It's not a, send someone into space. I just go up, I win the ball, goes my teammate's feet. But again, I'm not passive to the point where I let this guy settle it, turn around, try and dribble at me. I know that I can get to that ball. I'm getting to it first. I'm going to try and get it out of there. All right, so here just shifting over. I see my fullback, is pushed up, so I got to shift over. And the guy tries to play in through ball. I know I can get there first, and thankfully I can help us get going on offense as well. And this is something specific to center backs a lot. Most of the 1v1s are because we're covering for a fullback. They just went up for an attack or something. Their man is open, or they try and play that guy in on the sideline. So we got to shift over, we got to cover, and again, if you intercept that through ball, go for it. All right, so this one, just real simple, throw in, use physical, just go into that, tackle, clear it out. Just simple. Don't let him settle his feet. Don't let him even make a back pass. If I know I can get there, I know I can beat him out to the ball, I'm going to beat him out to the ball, whether it's pretty or not. And then my last clip or example here, just through ball in, it's bouncing. Get in front of him, get between him and the goal, first of all, and just clear it out. Goes out for a corner. Nothing pretty, nothing to really brag about, but just smart. Don't give him any advantage. Don't give him any chance here.
A loose label for this is just being proactive, being a proactive defender. I think I touched on this in my 3 key skills to being a center back, another game analysis video. But whenever possible, you just want to avoid the 1v1 guy dribbling at you situation. You always want it to be in your favor. Don't get cocky and think oh, well, I want to take this guy on. As center back, that's not how you should be playing. That's not how you should be thinking. You should always be playing it safe, playing smart, and playing for the best advantage of your team. So those are my 3 big tips of how to defend 1v1 as a center back. Hope you guys enjoyed. I know quite a few of you guys like these game analysis videos. So let me know if you want me to keep making these, if you want to see different styles like this one was, which is not just a straight up every touch I took throughout a game analysis. It's more of picking out certain points and tips and then showing you game footage and examples of that. And comment your best tips on how to defend, specifically as a center back, but it could just be general tips as well. Let's help each other out, because these are only 3 tips out of tons that are out there, and lots of little things that can help each other, take our game to the next level. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate all of your support. If you're new here and you like this kind of content, you like learning about football, soccer, you like seeing game film, and specifically college soccer, that is my big focus on this channel, be sure to subscribe. I haven't been the most consistent with the content lately, I'm getting back into it, but I have a lot of old videos, playlists you can go through, all about recruiting, college soccer, just advice about all of that. So once again, thank you. I hope you enjoyed. God bless you all, and I will see you in the next video.